little book of fairy tales. The Intruding Prankster. Not far from the fairy lake, there was a village inhabited by cats. In this village, a very rich cat lived by himself. For his whole life, he had only thought about accumulating wealth, and that was all. He didn't care about anything else. Thus, he enjoyed his treasures in a safe house, which he had made inaccessible to anyone. He was alone, had no friends, and never spoke to anyone. He was known to everyone in the village, and his wealth was envied by many. For this reason, the rich cat didn't want any kind of social relations. He was afraid that someone might take away his possessions. He never left his house. He would get what he needed and have things passed through a slot in the door, pay for the goods, and never say a word. He never opened the door of his house to anyone. His favorite pastime was going to the big room where he had collected all his treasures and looking at them. He would stay there for hours and hours, admiring and hugging them, thinking about how he had earned them. He spent the day like that, and in the evening went to sleep in his golden bed. One morning, as usual, he went to the treasure room, but to his amazement, he noticed that someone had put a note in the room, saying,
"I'm the intruding prankster. Do you see that I've managed to get into your house? I've played a big trick on you."
The very rich cat had quite a fright. Someone had managed to break into his inaccessible house. He didn't know what to do. He spent the whole day thinking about what had happened, and that all his security systems had been useless. Someone had managed to violate his privacy. He upgraded the alarm systems and took extra precautions to prevent anyone from getting in. Evening fell, and he went to sleep in his golden bed. Before he fell asleep, he thought that surely what had happened the night before would never happen again. No one, now, could get into his house. So he dozed off. In the morning, he woke up in a good mood and feeling smug, as he had certainly made his house inaccessible to anyone. However, as soon as he entered the treasure room, he saw another note, on which was written,
"It's the intruding prankster. I've played another big trick on you."
This time, however, he was neither frightened nor angry. On the contrary, he was taken by a strange curiosity. Who was this strange character? It certainly wasn't a thief. They hadn't taken anything. Nor was it an enemy, or so it seemed. Evening arrived, and he went to bed. However, he couldn't stop thinking about that mysterious presence, the intruding prankster. Dawn came, and the very rich cat jumped out of bed and ran to the treasure room. Of course, there was another note with a witty message from the intruding prankster. Days went by, and every morning the cat found a note from the intruder. It had by now become a regular appointment that had become part of his life. However, who was this intruding prankster? One morning, the cat woke up and went to the treasure room, sure of finding the usual note. However, to his surprise, he realized that there was nothing. He was quite shaken and started searching. However, he found nothing. He felt hopeless. He didn't know what to do. Suddenly, from a corner of the room, a little voice said,
"I'm the intruding prankster. How's my big cat?"
On hearing these words, the cat turned around and saw a little mouse. He realized straight away it was the mysterious visitor. The cat was overcome with happiness and said to the little mouse,
"So you are the intruder. What do you want from me?" "Just one thing. I want to be your friend," replied the mouse.
The cat, hearing these words, realized that his life had changed. He now had a friend, and he, in turn, had become a friend. After this, he started going out and meeting the other villagers. He even gave much of his wealth to those in need, and became a true friend to all.